welcome to this week's Foundation Friday. I am joined today by Lovern Gordon from the Love Life Now Foundation. Thanks again for joining me, Vern.
I appreciate you having me, Jesse.
No, it's fantastic to have you on here again as one of the other brainchilds behind EFC. Always appreciate seeing you and talking more about Love Life Now. So
Yeah.
I know we did a Foundation Friday last year, but for those
Been a
people who might not
year.
have, I can't believe it's already been a year. It's absolutely insane. Um, but there's a couple things I wanted to focus on today. That's upcoming October and what that means to you and your foundation.
Yes.
And also wanted to focus on the betting drive that you're doing.
Yeah.
So I guess at a high level, do you mind just kind of introducing Love Life Now again, if you don't mind, Laverne?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Love Life Now is a domestic violence awareness arm that focuses heavily around the area around domestic violence and who it affects, where help can be received, and what the red flags are versus what the green flags are in these types of relationships. So a lot of the times people get to the end of relationships that are toxic or unhealthy or physically, verbally, emotionally abusive, and they don't know where to get help, whether that means counseling, whether that means safety, whether that means just escaping and help with doing that. Folks usually don't know what help is and what help can look like. And so that's where Love Life Now comes in. There are many domestic violence agencies across the country that many people do not know about. And we help point people in the right direction for help. We also educate about, again, what help can look like, but also what relationships are in a general sense when they're not healthy. A lot of the times people are in abusive relationships and they don't even know that they're in an abusive relationship because they tend to equate, domestic violence with physically being touched. And it goes so far beyond that. So a lot of the times you'll find us on social media talking about what healthy relationships look like versus what unhealthy relationships are. And so pointing people in the right direction for help, hosting initiatives locally throughout the year, right? So at least once per quarter, we're hosting something locally here in Massachusetts to get people out and about learning about the issue as well as ways that they can help because many people want to but don't know ways that they can. And one of those initiatives you mentioned earlier is our annual betting drive. This is our 12th annual betting drive, if I'm not mistaken. So
Wow.
it's October, as you mentioned, it's very special to us, unfortunately, because it's Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We share the month heavily with breast cancer awareness, but during that month, a lot of domestic violence agencies and people that have survived and gone through this issue, it really means a lot to them because
Yeah.
it's a turning point, in their lives to say that I've gone through this, but here I am now. And so the betting drive helps a domestic violence shelter with us asking folks to donate a new twin sheet and or pillow, and those goods go back to the DV shelter where residents are housed. Many times when people leave these situations, it's because they have left all their personal belongings behind. They've escaped, they've ran away, they've planned to leave but couldn't take certain things with them, and sheets and pillows are those things, those
Right.
personal items that we take for granted, right? And
Yeah.
so when the DV shelter receives these items, it's because they are absolutely enamored and appreciative, because a lot of the times people will donate, clothing or, shoes and those types of things. But, personal sheet and pillow that someone can receive upon entering a domestic violence shelter where they have their own room, is something it really means a lot. And again, to be able to lie down on a clean sheet and pillow, I know what it feels like when I do my laundry, Jesse, and I'm
Oh
laying
yeah.
down in my bed and it's like, imagine what that feels like for somebody that's experienced trauma and now they're in a safe space, and to be able to do it
Yeah.
with their own. It just means the give goes so far beyond what you think it does. It's the ripple effect that's caused when decide to open up your heart and give.
No, that's fantastic. And so this is the 12th year. walk me through that if you don't mind. So, what was it like from a donation? And sorry to throw you on the spot. I didn't ask you this ahead
No
of time,
worries.
but I'm assuming you probably know these because you're Laverne and you're a superwoman.
Uh,
Um, Number of total items donated back then compared to last year, compared to what you're targeting for this year.
That is such a valuable, awesome, amazing question because I will tell you when I started out this work, and this is why it's our 12th, and people will say, but you've only been around, you just celebrated your 10-year
You
anniversary.
know what?
How is it?
I wasn't gonna question
What?
your math. I wanted to, but I wasn't going.
No, but so I promise you there's a math to this whole crazy method. So when I started this work as a survivor. And I had one, two back-to-back beauty pageants that had then asked to pick a platform, me to pick a platform to advocate for, and domestic violence was an easy choice. And it was the year that I had the titles before Love Life Now was even formed that I
Mm,
decided to start the betting drive because I had been volunteering at a domestic violence agency, and they essentially I had asked, well, how can I help? I'm sorry, there was a fly just a random fly. I was like, "No, I'm
that's
not
okay.
just random reaching for air.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not. I thought you were moved. Like again, like there was a movement, so it's perfectly fine.
Random reaching for air. So I had asked this DV agency, how can I further help rather than just volunteering? And they said that one of their biggest needs is bedding.
Mm,
And that to me was like, oh my gosh, no problem. I'm going to go out there. And so I started out that year by stopping people in a neighborhood that had busy traffic and asking them to come back the following weekend, giving them flyers and saying, look, donate a new twin sheet and pillow. I'll be here next weekend. And that first drive garnered about 30 pieces of sheets and pillows. 30
mm.
people showed up between friends, family, and maybe more than a few strangers. And that's where it started. And so the next year, I'm like, I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna set up shop at our local library, and that's what I did. Local library, everybody coming in and out, and say, "Hey, come back next weekend. I'll be here. Donate a new chin and pillow." So I am literally straggling, and again, about 30 pieces or so. And as the years went by, after Love Life Now was formed, those numbers have started to increase. And as of last year, we garnered over 250 pieces of twin sheets and pillows that all went back to
Nice.
Transition House, which was our donor last year. This year, it is the Association of Haitian Women that specifically help Haitian women that have fled, the country or their spaces and looking for help with domestic violence and other related services. So we're very proud to support them this year. But yeah, 250 pieces. So if we get anything near that as that we did last year and anything and above and beyond, we're grateful. So we're so excited. And we got the betting drive started this maybe about a week and a half ago. We got our first sets of donations. And if I can run off camera real quick, I should have had this near me for you, but I'll run off camera just like less than 2 seconds. I want to get drama with Lovern always. Hold on a second.
See, you can tell that these are not scripted.
Not scripted, all live. Okay. And I'm moving my camera and everything. These beautiful twin sheets have already come in, and this one is from our very own Reed Rakovich. She sent
Hey,
in 4 sets of twin sheets. So this is just one of them. I couldn't grab all. And another one from another network member that have already arrived for the betting drive. So it is well on its way, and it goes all the way through October 14th. It's virtual, so that means you do not have to go in the store and pick up anything. And it
hmm,
does not matter where you live in the country. You can sit from the comfort of your home, order on our Amazon Smile, Love Life Now Foundation, and you can order your favorite twin sheet set and pillow and send it directly to us. No brainer to be able to participate in this drive. And I think, that's one of the things that the pandemic presented for us was moving some of our initiatives that typically would only be local
yeah.
to virtual. and being able to offer the fact, yeah, and again, this is what it's about. It's right. Reed lives in, I think, Washington. We're here
Yeah,
in Massachusetts, and she's
yeah.
participating. Solify donated sheets and pillows last year. Dedicated, who is a sponsor of ours for the bedding drive, they send FedEx boxes of sheets and pillows to us every year. So again, anywhere in the country you live, you're going to be able to participate if you're led to do so.
Perfect. And can I ask a favor? Can you send me those links
Yes,
so I can sit there
absolutely.
and put them at the end of this video so people can, you know, how people are. It's like
Absolutely.
we all have really ADD, and it's like, oh, what
Yeah,
was that?
tunnel
And then
vision.
yeah, so it's like, all right, click here.
Yes, absolutely. Folks can click on our flyer right from our website and be able to, it'll take you right to our Amazon Smile. But please don't feel like you have to buy from Amazon or Amazon Smile. Really, anywhere that you feel comfortable buying a twin sheet and pillow online, you can do so. Target, we get, stuff like, I think that last one was from Target,
And where do you
Amazon,
and where do you
wherever.
want these? And what address should people put? Can we put that on
So it's
the
on
thing,
the flyer.
on
Yep,
the
it's on
flyer?
the flyer.
Okay.
Yeah, so make it really easy for folks to be able to just click, that's the copy paste and go. Yeah, we're very excited that it's happening again. And then
Okay.
again, unfortunately, that October is here once again, and we're raising awareness around an issue that, really impacts many, 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 many people.
So when does the betting drive end?
Yes, so people have till October 14th to
October 14th.
send
Okay.
in your twin sheet and pillow. So we started right around September. So folks are in the know, go heading into October, that it is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And
Okay.
it gives people a good span of time to be able to, again, leisurely shop for a twin sheet and or pillow. You don't have to buy both. You can buy either or. And anything around that realm we're grateful for.
Also, something you noted there, smile.amazon, your Love Life Now Foundation is on there.
Yes, Smile. Yes, we are on Smile, and again, a no-brainer way to be able to support us if
Yeah.
you're shopping on Amazon for items. I know some folks already have, their causes that are attached to their Smile. But if you so choose or think about domestic violence awareness, we would love to have your support via Amazon Smile.
When you told me that a couple weeks ago, I went on and switched mine. I think I was on Wounded Warrior Project forever, and then I'm like, okay.
Yay!
And I may have
Heartfelt.
I may have an Amazon addiction.
I think,
Okay,
listen,
so
if you don't have an Amazon Smile addiction, in this day and age, you're a little bit abnormal. You're the abnormal one.
it's fair. It's fair. I want something. I want it now, and it's going to come in 5 hours. Yay!
Legit, legit. And even with the shipping,
Mhm.
slowdowns, you're still guaranteed at least 1 to 2 days, and that to me is a no-brainer.
And this is not a promotion for that, by the
This
way.
is
This
not
is,
a promo.
but if a percentage of that goes to Love Life Now, then
We
maybe
appreciate
it could be a
you.
promotion.
We appreciate you. There you go.
Um, so Laverne, from a Love Life Now perspective, after October, what else would you like to share with the audience here in regards to other initiatives that you have coming up?
Yeah, so I always say when September 1 hits, that begins our crazy year. Up until, we go from September to June, we're going very hard with, initiatives that we're hosting. So, in conjunction with the betting drive that's happening currently through October 14th, we are actually today, or when, I should, put a date on it, but right now we're in the midst of preparing for our empowerment fashion show for DV awareness, where all the models are survivors of abuse, and that happens on October 28th locally. And it's just an empowering night. So I say preparing because we're going to be having our first fitting with all the models shortly. And I am always excited about that because that's when survivors meet each other. They
Yep.
don't know each other.
Mm.
And it just presents a community for folks that didn't necessarily know that there were other people that had gone through this too. So I always look forward to that because it again it forms relationships long after the show has happened. People stay in contact on in social media, and I know a lot of friendships have been formed from this show because of that, with people that they have something in common with. And so the survivorship and the community that happens, through this particular show is amazing. And then the show that night, Jesse, my gosh, for a lot of people, this is they're coming out, right? Saying to the world, I've gone through this, but look at me now, right? So they get their hair, makeup done, they have on these fabulous clothes from, local boutique called New Destiny Fashions this year, and they come out to a crowd of people cheering them on, right? So it's no longer this shameful thing. This is an empowering thing, and
Yeah.
not only are you doing it for yourself, but there's somebody in that audience that's saying, "My gosh, if they can do it, I can do it too."
Yeah.
And I can tell you succinctly that every single year we've hosted the show, we've had at least 2 to 3 people come up to us and said, "Me too. And how can I be a part of the show next year?" So last year we were virtual, which was amazing because we were able to share the survivors' stories, during their clips as they walked.
Okay.
And that's something we do as well during the show. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to hear the stories amidst
Yeah.
all the applause,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but we do, tell them. And it just, again, it's such an amazing night, it's such an inspiring night. And I look forward to all of our initiatives, and this one just the same, because again it forges that type of community. So once the empowerment fashion show is over, then we head straight into our adopt a family drive, and that runs from mid-November all the way to mid-December, where we take a domestic violence shelter, and then we ask individuals and companies to sponsor a family living in a domestic violence shelter to help take care of their wish list for the holidays.
Mm.
Again, something that is near and dear to my heart, because the folks that are living in these shelters, they again have left everything behind. And when you look at these wish lists that folks have, the things that they're asking for are the things that we take for granted every
Yeah.
single day. So
Yeah.
robe, slippers, pajamas for them and or their children. I mean, you look at this list and you're like, my God, this is something I can go to Walmart and pick up for like $10, and they're asking for it for Christmas, right? So,
Yeah.
it really fills my heart to know that there are giving hearts out there to be that are wanting to be part of the drive every year. There was one year during the pandemic that we had so many donors that we had to adopt another shelter. So we took care of 2 shelters. Each shelter typically holds about 7 to 12 families.
Okay.
So again, it's one room per individual or company. So if you are so led to be part of the Adopt a Family Drive, again, you do not have to live in Massachusetts to be part of that. You can adopt a family from Washington. You can adopt a family from North Dakota. Doesn't matter where you live. We virtually upload the list to
Okay.
Amazon, and folks are able to go on there to see the curated list. They can either buy it there, they can either buy it on Amazon, or somewhere else, and have it shipped directly to the domestic violence
I
shelter.
I
So
think you get a kickback from Bezos. I'm not gonna lie.
I swear, on the
Just
low,
kidding. Just
on the
kidding.
low, on the low. It just makes
Just
life
kidding. Just
easier
kidding.
for
Oh no,
everyone, right?
I went on this morning. I'm like, I need name badges for next week's EFC event, and I'm like, ooh,
Boom, easy.
done.
Yes, no brainer. But it just makes life easier. And again, that was another sort of initiative that we moved virtually when the pandemic hit, and people still wanted to be able to help. So it just, again, that's my faith and in humanity during the pandemic rose exponentially when I thought it was already big. Because to know that we were going through this particular time and people still wanted to help was amazing. So Yeah, those are the next well, three initiatives that we have happening, and then we cross over into the new year, God's willing, and we have the White Ribbon Night Gala that asks more men to speak out against domestic violence. Jesse, you're a huge proponent
Yeah.
of that, and you support us so amazingly and give us the floor and the opportunity to be able to talk about that campaign nationwide. And that's another, again, I keep saying these are all initiatives that are near and dear to my heart, because these are all the things that I had hoped that I could have experienced when I was going through and my mom was going through her issues with with domestic violence. So we never had, ended up in a shelter, but I can say that, if I did after volunteering at one, these are some of the things I would like for men to speak up on, on behalf of this cause. Women, yes, many people see this as a women's issue, and it's not. Men have a responsibility to use their voices, and this gala serves as a sort of gap opening to say to folks, it's okay, and we need you, right?
Yeah.
It's okay, and we need you. We know you're good. We know your voices are strong, and we want you to help us in spreading awareness around the issue. So I can go on and on about our initiatives. It just all throughout the year there's something happening to engage people. No, and there's not one cookie cutter way to engage folks. So we go from every different avenue that we can find to be able to engage folks throughout the year on this issue. So yeah.
Perfect, Laverne. And be sure to send me those links so I can post them right after this video. And
I
I
will.
appreciate your time. For those watching this, take a couple minutes. It's not an exuberant amount of money, but every penny helps. So
Yes, yes. And in this case, every twin sheet and or pillow helps. So,
yeah,
$12, $20, whatever you decide. We would be grateful to receive your twin sheet and pillow. And trust me, the person that, on the end of this, that's receiving it personally, will love it even more.
excellent. Well, I appreciate your time, Laverne, and look forward to seeing you here soon.
Yeah. Thank you for having me again.
Thank you.